Video. Video 6.
All right, welcome guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at what
This meeting is being
emulators
recorded.
allow for support of the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. The other day we did go over the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. And that was actually a pretty good review. It was pretty long. I reviewed that on Sunday evening, and it's already Thursday.
Open part 10 more options for.
So we're going to open up the emulators and we're going to kind of look at some gameplay of them. How they play out with the Switch Joy-Cons and what they can do. How well do they run? Is there any stutter? Is there any drift? That sort of thing.
Folder view.
So already on my desktop, I have 2 or 3 emulators that have support for this. Actually 4.
MGBA 3.
But I wouldn't count MGBA as much, only because today we're only looking at emulators that only support, that allow you to play the emulator, that allow you to play it with the 2 Joy-Cons being used simultaneously, like as if they were being played on a regular Switch. Of course, we know Yuzu for the Switch allows it, so we're not going to be really looking at that emulator. It allows for multiple combinations of the Joy-Cons, so we're not looking at that emulator, but we're going to be looking at other ones.
Project 64.
So
Project 64.
Load up Project 64.
Support Project 64. Support continue Project 64.
And you can see I already have all my games on the home screen. But what we have to do, because Project 64 has a tendency to delete your profile, your controller profile, so you need to load it. It'll be stored wherever you keep your controller profiles.
File options full screen on.
So we're going to go to
Project
Input.
64 3.0. Enrage input v2 configuration dialog gamut button 02 version 3 save button.
Now it already has in controller 1 these as my profile.
Project 60.
So I'm not going to edit anything there. I have
Super Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers USA, Super Smash Brothers Japan,
Super Mario 60.
Super Mario 64,
Mario Tennis 6.
Mario Tennis 64, Mario Parties 1, 2, and 3, and Mario Kart 64.
Mario Party 3, Mario Kart 64.
So we're going to have a look at each and every one of those games, except I'm not planning on looking at Mario Party 2.
Mario Kart 64.
I don't plan on looking at Mario Party 2, but we are going to look at Mario Kart 64.
List item.
How that plays out. Yeah, I'll be done. So as much as it loads, look at that. So it plays out.
Mario Kart.
A. Right. Player 2.
Mario Grand Prix.
A.
Select your player.
Player.
Let's go.
Player 1. Okay, and that's player 1. And of course, we cannot forget our handy Xbox Series X controller. Oh yeah, ¿Qué pasó? Find.
Yahoo!
Luigi.
Okay.
Back to player 1.
Okay. Select map.
And I'm gonna try to make this as quick as I can. Okay.
Okay.
But not rushing it too much. I'm not gonna look at player 2 too much right now. So L trigger, turn off the music. Not really moving. On the right, it's jumping. You can see it's moving. Left, right, backwards. Oh, there's another car to my left. And they're using the star power. Here to my left side. Cool. So that game works. Just as it would on a regular
Error dialog.
Nintendo Switch. And I did not even close the emulator
Folder
correctly.
view list.
So let's
Terminate
relaunch it.
project. Project 64 3.0.1.56642 DF3434. List Mario Kart 60.
Okay. Let's look at Mario Party 1.
Mario Party U.
Which relates a lot into Mario Party Superstars for the Switch.
Mario Kart 64. Mario Party U.
So I'm going to skip past the intro and we're going to kind of just go through this. There we go. Mushroom Village. Here we go. And here's all our options. Party mode. How to play. One player mode. And you can see it's actually navigating quite well. Player amount, 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1.
Yeah!
2,
Yeah!
3, 4. Now, we're going to look at our superstar boards. We're going to do Yoshi's Tropical Island. That time I was navigating with the right the D-pad, not the analog stick. I'm hoping the microphone's able to pick it up. But I'm moving the right, I'm just playing around with the right analog stick on the Joy-Con, on the right Joy-Con. And it should work. So it's loading. Okay, so Peach is first,
Yeah!
Luigi's second, Yoshi's third, and we are fourth. So let's look at how this plays out. And you gotta love Yoshi's Tropical Island from Mario Party 1, which is now also in Mario Party Superstars. Yep, look at that. The mechanics are gonna be a little bit different though, but some of it's gonna be the same. So, yeah, there's Yoshi. Hit A. We're also going to look at how a minigame plays out in this, with this. You can tell the dice block sounds very much identical. There's one sound that's different. Oh, perfect opportunity to look at a minigame, and then we'll get out of here. And then we'll play something else. Probably Mario Party 3. Any instructions? This out. That's it.
Start!
place. A. Left, right trigger. You gotta remember that you only had triggers in one bumper. Left trigger, right trigger, and the Z button on the N64 controller. So gotta be sure that one of the buttons doesn't do anything. But that's just an overview of one of the mini games right there. And many of the stuff in here is gonna still look the same. Like this track was ported over to Mario Party Superstars, although it's not the original one.
Error dialog.
So
Folder view.
now we're gonna have a look at Super Smash Brothers.
Terminate projects. Project 64-3 Mario Susu.
Now, we can either look at the Japanese version or the USA version. I have both. So we're going to look at the USA version.
Mario Party.
Just for those of you who can see it. But I do also like the way the Japanese version plays out. Now, if you have not heard the intro of the Japanese version, I'll play that one as well after this one plays. We'll have a look at that one. But this is the USA version if... Most of it's going to be the same, but you're going to notice something that's different in the end. Just let it play. Okay. Now, go down one. A.
Free for all!
Now, here's the character screen. You can see all of it is in English.
Leave!
I'm trying to move around the place, but it's not.
Team battle! Free for all!
Now, this is the first time I actually highlighted Team Battle on this one. But I have seen it on the Japanese version. And it's not much different. Still the same. So these two options are the same in the US and Japanese versions, the first two. But we're going to look at option 3 and option 4. Option 4.
Board the platforms! Kirby! Fox! Lead! Mario!
Now, in this game, since Bowser was not a playable character at the time, I guess I'll play as either Mario or Link.
Donkey Kong!
Or Donkey Kong, I guess is fine. Mind you, I'm not even that good at this. That good at board the platforms. Okay.
Error dialog.
Now we're going to look at the Japanese version with the introduction.
Terminate.
On how the game
Project
introduces
6.
itself.
Super Nintendo All-Star.
For one, you'll tell that you can easily tell the titles are different. At the bottom of the screen here is Super Smash Brothers U. And then up here more is Nintendo All-Star Untitled Smash Brothers J. That is how you can tell the difference. We're
Super
going to look
Smash.
at it.
Nintendo All-Star Durant.
And Eloquence pronounces it Durantu. That's not the right way to pronounce it. You can tell the introduction is very much the same, but you're going to notice something a little different at the end. All the tracks, everything is mostly the same, but you're going to notice a little bit different. A little bit different. Just listen to the intro. Here it comes. So here comes the difference between Smash 64 USA and Smash 64 Japanese.
Nintendo All-Star.
So as you can tell, it's a little different. Okay. Now, if we go down one, this is the same thing we did before. Down 1A, A.
Battle Royale. Team Battle. Battle Royale.
You would think it's in English, but it's not. So, yeah. Back. A. We're going to look at option 3 now instead of option 4 because it's still the same. Option 3 is, you can understand this, the English in this better than you can in the actual one, but listen to this.
Break the target.
And look how it says it in this one, the fourth one.
Warn the platform.
You can actually understand the English wording in this better than in the original one. But options 1 and 2 are the same.
Choose your character.
So that's the same,
Training mode.
and that's the same. So we've already showed some skill in this game. We're not going to
Error
look at it
dialog.
again
Folder.
because we already
Zoom row.
looked at
Zoom
it
width.
in the USA version.
Terminate Project 60.
But what I am going to show you next is how does Super Mario 64 play out with this.
Super Mario 6. Nintendo All-Star Durant. Super Mario 64. U Project 6.
It's me, Mario! Hello! Okie dokie.
Okay. Then I also have Mario
Dear Mario,
Tennis
please
64
come to the castle.
Japan,
I baked a cake for you.
and I think that's what it
Yours
was
truly,
called.
Princess Toadstool.
But I don't know what we call it here in the US, but in Japan I know it's called Mario Tennis 64. And that's actually what I wanted, is Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64, but I didn't know I would be getting the Japanese version of it. So, I won't really get into that game much, just because you guys are not going to understand it. Those of you who can see, you're not going to understand it since it's in Japanese. And I'd rather have something you guys can understand. But I'll look at the gameplay. We'll at least look at the gameplay. Up, right, left, A, B. Right trigger works for your camera. I'm not sure what the right stick does. So yep. That's that game.
Error type. Folder V.
And no, I'm not running Windows XP, if you're wondering.
Terminate project. No button Alt plus N. Yes button. Project 60 Super Smash.
So we've already looked at Smash.
Super
we've already
Mario
looked
60.
at Super Mario 64.
Nintendo Mario Tennis 64.
We're gonna
Mario Party 3. Mario 10.
we're gonna look at Mario Tennis. We
Super
are gonna
Mar-
look at it.
Mario Tennis 64.
But only because I want to show you how the gameplay goes out with this.
Mario!
You can tell many of the sounds in this game, if you've not already, are like Mario parties.
Here we go!
Now you're versing one player in this.
Here we go.
We're playing as Mario and Luigi. Well, Mario's playing versus Luigi. We're gonna have a look at this game. Oh my god, my emulation is being slow. I'm not really that good at this game either, but yeah.
Oh, yeah!
What you can already tell in this is
Error type.
Mario is actually the one talking and giving out the scores.
Folder.
Now, I think in the US version, you have a different narrator.
Zoom. Zoom with folder V.
So, yeah, we're done with Project 64 for now.
Dolphin X60.
We're going to look at the
File
Dolphin
Explorer,
emulator
Dolphin
now
X,
and how
items
it
view.
plays out with Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Dolphin 4 of 13.
And this actually
Dolphin
also
5
does
point-
play out well with Super Mario. Not with Super Mario Party, because I don't even have that game on here. Actually, I do, but it's not really that fast. And that's a Switch game. It also does play out well with Mario Kart Wii,
File collapse.
since that game does support GameCube controllers.
Emul move up tools collapse Alt plus
So
T.
I'm going to load up the GameCube main menu and I'm going to put the disc into the console.
Read sheet 5 start browse net play load GameCube and NTS Dolphin window.
TSCU.
Warning dialog ignore Dolphin window.
The session. And now we're going to
Tap O change disk Alt plus T.
change the disc. And we're
Select the
going to
file dot preview this items view list.
look for Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Super Mario Bros. Super Smash Brothers. Brawl. US Super Smash Brothers. Dolphin 5. Dolphin 5.
Okay, now the game is in. And I'm not even sure what happened here, but usually
Dolphin 5. Dolphin 5.
this emulator works, but
Dolphin movie collapse Alt plus M. Options collapse graphic audio set controller settings Alt. Standard controller. GameCube configure. Game configure button. Game config. GameCube none. Standard controller. Configure Dolphin 5.016.
okay, well, for now I'll let this slide. But usually it does work.
Dolphin 5.
So I'm
Dolphin
gonna have
5.
to load it up myself manually.
Select the file.
Oh, this is not really the correct way of
Items
doing
view
it.
list name split boot not select sources for SS support 6 Super Smash Brothers Melee Dolphin window.
Okay, let me just hope that this wants to act right with this game. Okay, the game loads, but I don't think the controller's acting right.
Dolphin 5
So
Dolphin
I will come back to this at a later time.
Dolphin X64 Zoom full
But I'm not really too satisfied right there. Okay. Now, I would show it with the DS emulator, but when I tried to import the BIOS file with Desumi, it just makes it stop working. So I'm not going to play around with that, but it actually does work quite well with it. It also works
SSD CVs SNES9X.conf.
with
How do you want to open this? Start tog folder view SNES X64
9X.
SNES 1.60 file low recent game submit
We're going to play a little bit of Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's
1
Island.
Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island Super Mario World
just to kind of show how this works. And I have the audio set to 11K audio to kind of match that of the Game Boy Advance, as you can probably already tell. Hit A on this. And you could see it is quite responsive. So I think the left Joy-Con might be dead. And the audio starts on the right, and it makes its way to the left in this game. Most of it's on the right only, though. See, now you heard that little click there? Aha, guess what? My Joy-Con is dead. My left Joy-Con is dead. I'm gonna need to charge that up later with my Switch. Okay. Either that or it's just not wanting
Folder
to
view.
work right now.
Start window. Citra Connect.
Next thing we'll demonstrate is
Citra
this working with the Citra emulator for 3DS.
File out, load, install, start alt plus S,
Now,
load files,
usually-
recent files. 1.
This actually acts
Menu bar.
nicely with this emulator. Now we're gonna look at a game we were looking at before. If it would like to load.
File out and recent files. 1. Mario Party Island Tour. Zoom Citra Connect Zoom Citra Canary 20 Citra Canary 2160.
There it is. It takes a little bit to load. Oh no, the Joy-Con's not dead, but it's working. Now we're gonna have a look at how one of the mini games plays out in this, and it needs some resetting up because I had some issues with this computer, so I had to reset it a couple of times. Now you can see the emulation is being a bit slow.
Here we go!
Now it'll eventually speed up, but I don't know what it's doing. Now we're going to be looking at this board next, the next time we play this. This will be part 2 of this board. But we're just gonna, this is basically the preview of what that looks like.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, and you can see the emulation is just being slow right now. Once this chooses to actually act right, then I'll probably proceed. But you can see it's speeding up a little bit, but not by much, not to where it's supposed to be, the audio. It did speed up a little bit. Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah!
that's how it's acting right now. Okay. There we go. It sped up. And it goes back to being slow. So, yeah, that's... And look at that. A minigame.
Yeah!
The minigame load screen is probably what's going to make it be fast. Pick a minigame using touchscreen. Here we go.
Okay!
Now we're on the minigame screen, on the load screen. Some emulators, like I said, they'll act slower than others. Others will act faster. So, don't know which minigame this even is.
Start!
Yes!
And the minigame's actually playing quite well too, right now.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yes!
Also does work very, very well with Super Smash Bros. For 3DS.
Oh, yeah!
Finish!
Okay. Now I don't care right now about the scores, but
Oh,
because this is so fast.
I won!
So now we're going back to the board and we're gonna look at how this works. So how it's scored out. So it depends on mini stars and a bunch of other stuff.
Let's go!
That's my turn. We're gonna hold A. And that's actually something I don't even think I showed in the video before. So you hold A to roll your dice to move it around. Hit B. And then A to let go.
Citra alert, Citra
But
alert.
you can see this is very smooth.
Yes, enter button.
The controllers, the way they play out. So, we looked at Project 64. We tried to look at Dolphin, but it wouldn't cooperate too well. So that's something for another time. We looked at Citra, which does very well, actually. You see, I would look at MGBA, but it doesn't allow you to use the controllers simultaneously, the left and right Joy-Con. So we're not looking at that emulator today. But in the future, we will look at emulators that allow you to use the controllers as standalones, such as MGBA, Melon DS, Desumi. All of these do technically, but I don't really like doing that. I don't really like using these controllers as standalones. Because, yeah. So, yeah, that's the deal.
Zoom with back in chat. Alt. Thursday schedule but return to meeting. More options for
Yeah.
participants.
So, I hope you liked it. And if you have a Switch or have Joy-Cons that you want to connect up to your computer, I hope you'll want to consider to use the Joy-Cons in your gameplay. While you go through the world of emulation and explore more of it. So, they also say Mupen 64 which is another N64 emulator. They also say that one allows you to play with the Joy-Cons, but I've tried it and it does not work. I'll be exploring that emulator at a later time. One thing I like about that emulator, though, is that it actually provides you the rumble for the Xbox controller. The other one doesn't. And yeah, but I prefer Project 64 over Mupen 64. Not because it doesn't provide rumble. If anything, rumble is what I need in the controller. I need the controllers to rumble. But more because it allows you to configure the controller the way you want it. Mupen 64 doesn't allow you to do that. So, yeah. Same with Melon DS. It allows you to configure your controller the way you want it, but it doesn't allow you to use your controllers simultaneously. you can only use them as standalones. And I know how you could use, I know the button configuration for Melon DS for your Joy-Cons. For the left Joy-Con, you'd have to use on the D-pad, down arrow is A, left arrow as B, right arrow as Y, and up arrow is X. You'd also have to be holding the controller sideways. So if you're holding it straight up and down, in that emulator, Melon DS, you'd have to get used to holding it sideways. Right arrow is up, left arrow is down, up arrow is left, and then down arrow is right. Looking at the other Joy-Con. X would be A would be B, Y would be X, and B would be Y. Same thing. Left would be up, right would be down would be left, right would be, no, up would be right. And that's if you were holding the Joy-Cons straight up and down. And you have start. And you could do in on the joystick for select. But you'll have to emulate that, obviously. And you have left trigger, right trigger. And that's all you really had on the DS anyway, is A, B, X, Y, start, select. A, B, X, Y, start, select. Up, down, left, right. Let's see. A, B, X, Y, up, down, left, right. Start, select, left trigger, right trigger. And that's all you had with Melon DS. It beautifully emulated a DS. It would beautifully emulate the DS. And it actually allows you to boot into the BIOS, which we did take a look at in a previous video.
Schedule Thursday. Return to meeting button. Schedule meeting controls row. Chat more options.
So I'm just about done here. I hope you liked it. And if you did, tell me what you think in the comments, because feedback is key. So feel free to leave a thumbs up if you did like it. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.